There is a power that no one can take from you, a fortress within your reach, built not of stone, but of discipline, clarity, and reason. Self-control. It is not repression. It is liberation. The Stoics understood that to master life, you must first master yourself, not the world, not others, but your own impulses. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Today we uncover the Stoic path to true power, the secret to self-control. 1. Control the inner dialogue. Every action you take begins in a place no one else can see, your mind. And every failure in self-control, every outburst, every relapse, every regret, often begins with one unnoticed thought. That's the battlefield the Stoics prepared for. Not the world outside, but the war within. Seneca, with the sharp insight of a philosopher and a statesman, warned us, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And how true that is. We worry about things that haven't happened. We replay old insults long after they've ended. We invent slights where none were meant. And we speak to ourselves more harshly than we would to an enemy. The Stoics understood this mental chaos is the root of our suffering, not events themselves, but the story we attach to them. When something happens, you get criticized, ignored, rejected. Your mind instantly offers a script. This is unfair. They don't respect me. I always mess things up. But pause. Stop the loop. Is that the truth? Or is it simply your mind reacting out of habit? Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, not for the world, but for himself, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." Self-control starts here, with inner discipline, not external domination. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming aware. Ask yourself, am I angry because I was wronged, or because I believe I was supposed to be treated differently? Am I afraid because something is truly dangerous, or because I've imagined the worst-case scenario? This is where freedom lives, not in controlling the world, but in controlling your interpretation of it. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. You are the gatekeeper. And the key to self-mastery? It's learning to stand guard at the entrance of your mind, to speak truth to your impulses, to choose clarity over chaos. Master your inner dialogue, and the world outside loses its power over you. 2. Delay your reaction. There is a sacred pause between what happens to you and what you choose to do next. It's a small gap, often no more than a breath, but in that breath lies the difference between reaction and reason, between chaos and control, between stimulus and response. There is a space, and in that space lies your freedom, your power, your peace. The world may try to provoke you. People may insult you, cut you off, test your patience, and life may push every one of your buttons. But nothing and no one can make you react. Only you can give that permission. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by wars, betrayals, and the weight of an empire, reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Most people are slaves to their impulses. They get hurt, they lash out. They get triggered, they explode. They confuse emotion for action. But you are not most people. You are a student of Stoicism, and a Stoic doesn't react blindly. They respond wisely. Self-control doesn't mean becoming cold or robotic. It means becoming conscious. It means giving logic a chance to speak before the ego takes over. It means being strong enough to pause when everything in you is screaming to retaliate. So next time anger rises, don't fight it. Don't act on it. Just notice it. Count to 5. Breathe deeply. Let the fire cool before you touch it. That moment of silence, that pause, is where your power begins. Because the strongest person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one who stays calm. And in that calm, you become untouchable.
3. Don't follow every impulse. Not every urge deserves your obedience. Not every emotion deserves your reaction. Not every impulse should be followed. The Stoics taught us something powerful, that feelings are not facts, and impulses are not orders. Epictetus warned us, appearances to the mind are of 4 kinds. We must exercise caution and restraint. Desire will whisper in your ear, just once. No one will know. You deserve it. But wisdom answers back, does this serve my higher self? Most people believe freedom means doing whatever you want, but that's not freedom. That's slavery, to appetite, to impulse, to the moment. True freedom is the ability to say no. The Stoic does not follow every craving that rises. They watch it, examine it, and ask, is this useful? Is this virtuous? Or is this just comfort masquerading as need? The world will constantly tempt you to indulge, to overreact, to escape responsibility. But the person who has self-control doesn't act from the first feeling. They give reason a seat at the table. Every time you resist a temptation, you're not depriving yourself. You're building yourself. You're reminding your body and your emotions, you don't own me, I own you. Because the goal isn't to suppress desire, but to transcend it. It's not about white-knuckling your way through life. It's about realizing that what you once thought was essential was just noise. So when the next impulse hits, whether it's anger, laziness, envy, or pleasure, remember this. You are not a puppet. You are not a slave to every sensation. You are a master in training, and mastery begins with refusal. 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers sweet lies. It tells you that ease is the goal, that pleasure is peace, that avoiding hardship is winning at life. But the Stoics knew better. They believed that the path to true strength, to real freedom, is paved not with luxury, but with chosen discomfort. Seneca, one of Rome's wealthiest men, once slept on the floor, ate coarse bread, and wore simple clothes, not out of necessity, but out of wisdom. He asked himself, is this what I feared? And in doing so, he stripped fear of its power. Because fear only thrives in imagination. Once experienced, hardship often loses its fangs. Voluntary discomfort is not about suffering for suffering's sake. It's about training the mind to endure, to detach from an addiction to ease, to find stillness even when the environment is rough. The world is unpredictable. Comfort makes you soft, but discipline makes you ready. Take a cold shower not to punish yourself, but to remind yourself you can handle discomfort. Skip a meal not for vanity, but to realize how little you truly need. Walk when you could drive. Fast when you could feast. Simplify when you could indulge. Every small act of voluntary discomfort is a deposit, an investment into your mental resilience. Because when real adversity comes, and it will, you won't panic. You'll be prepared. You'll say, I have trained for this. I have lived through worse by choice. And in that moment, when others break down, you will stand tall. Because you didn't build your strength in luxury, you forged it in fire. 5. Align with nature and reason. The Stoics believed that to live well, you must live in alignment, not with your desires, but with nature, not with impulse, but with reason. But what does that mean? It means recognizing that your true nature isn't chaos or craving. It's order. It's logic. It's virtue. You are not just an animal reacting to the world. You are a rational being, capable of reflection, intention, and discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. The world may be turbulent. Other people may behave poorly. Emotions may surge. But none of that needs to dictate your behavior."
Because the Stoic doesn't ask, what do I feel like doing? They ask, what does reason call me to do? That is self-control, not suppression, but alignment. It's not about pretending you don't feel things. It's about not being ruled by those feelings. To live in accordance with nature is to live in accordance with your highest self, to let go of what you can't control, to accept what is, to respond with virtue instead of reactivity. This is what Epictetus meant when he said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our opinions about them." If you can pause, step back, and view each moment through the lens of reason, not ego, not fear, not anger, you become unshakable. Self-control is not the enemy of freedom, it is its foundation. Because when you are ruled by virtue, you are ruled by nothing else, and there is no greater power than that. 6. Watch what you consume. What you feed your body shapes your health, but what you feed your mind, that shapes your soul. Most people guard their homes more fiercely than their thoughts. They lock their doors, but leave their minds wide open to noise, to distraction, to poison, disguised as entertainment. The Stoics were intensely mindful of mental diet. They understood that your environment isn't just physical, it's intellectual, it's emotional, it's spiritual. Seneca cautioned, we should see to it that we mix with people who are likely to improve us. But today, people don't just mean the ones around you. They mean the voices you invite into your mind, on your screen, in your earbuds, through every scroll. Ask yourself, is what I'm watching making me wiser? Is what I'm listening to making me calmer? Or am I feeding chaos into my bloodstream? The modern world thrives on overstimulation. It wants your attention, and it wants it fragmented. Self-control means more than resisting temptation. It means choosing what to let in. It means curating your inputs, like a Stoic warrior sharpening their blade. Read something timeless instead of something viral. Turn off the outrage machine. Detach from digital noise. Because what enters your mind repeatedly becomes your thoughts. Your thoughts become your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. You can't have a peaceful inner world if you keep feeding it conflict. So guard your mind like a temple, not because you are fragile, but because you are sacred. And what you allow in becomes part of who you are. 7. Make your identity stronger than your temptation. Temptation will come. It always does. The urge to quit, the impulse to lash out, the easy road that offers comfort, not character. But the real test is not whether temptation exists, it's whether your identity is strong enough to resist it. The Stoics didn't rely on motivation, they relied on values, on virtue, on a clear understanding of who they were. They acted not from emotion, but from alignment with the kind of person they believed they must be. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That's the secret. Your actions flow from your identity. So when temptation knocks, don't just say, "I can't." Say, "That's not who I am." There is power in that phrase. Because when your identity is rooted in discipline, in integrity, in wisdom, every temptation becomes less seductive. You begin to see it for what it is: a test, a moment, a distraction, not a command. When you build your identity around virtue, you no longer ask, "Can I get away with this?" You ask, "Would the person I aspire to be do this?" And that question clarifies everything. So speak your values into your identity. Say it out loud. I am calm. I am in control. I live by principle. And let every decision reflect that. Because in the end, you won't rise to the level of your goals. You'll fall to the strength of your identity. Make it unshakable.
8. Accept what you can't control. The Stoics taught a profound truth. Some things are within your power, and some things are not. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the opinions of others. You cannot control the twists and turns of fate, and trying to do so is the source of much pain. Epictetus reminded us, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. This isn't resignation, it's clarity. When you accept what you cannot change, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Anger at traffic won't move the cars faster. Worry about a rude comment won't change the person who spoke it. But you can control your attitude, your response. This acceptance is not weakness, it's strength. Because when you stop fighting the uncontrollable, you find freedom. Freedom from frustration. Freedom from needless suffering. The world will always throw curveballs. Plans will crumble, people will disappoint. But your peace depends not on these external events, but on your mind's acceptance of them. And in that acceptance, you reclaim your power. Self-control is not about perfect circumstances. It's about perfecting your response. The Stoics didn't wish to escape the storms of life. They learned to stand firm within them. So when life disrupts your expectations, pause, breathe, accept. And in that simple act, you become unbreakable. 9. Review and reflect daily. Self-control is not a destination. It's a journey, a practice, a habit, a muscle to be trained daily. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, kept a journal, not for others, but for himself. A place to look honestly at his actions, his successes, and his failures. Each night he asked himself, what did I do well? Where did I fall short? What can I improve tomorrow? This daily reflection is more than self-criticism. It's a powerful tool of growth. Because without awareness, without honest examination, we are doomed to repeat the same mistakes. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Journaling forces you to slow down, to observe your own mind and behavior, to ask, did I live according to my values today? Did I act with patience when tested? Did I allow impulse to control me, or did I choose reason? It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each day is an opportunity to learn. Each evening, a chance to realign. This simple act of review builds resilience. It deepens your commitment. It strengthens your self-control. Because mastery isn't born from grand gestures. It grows from small, consistent steps. So before you sleep, take a moment, look back, learn, and prepare to meet tomorrow stronger than today. Self-control is not about denying yourself life's pleasures. It's about choosing what truly nourishes your soul and refusing what harms your spirit. It's the ancient secret the Stoics guarded fiercely, the key to freedom in a chaotic world. When you master your mind, you become the captain of your fate. No external storm can shake you. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Remember, self-control is a practice, a daily commitment to live by your values, to rise above impulse, and to walk your path with courage and wisdom. Stand firm, pause, reflect, and choose. Because the greatest empire you will ever rule is the one within. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. Let the wisdom of the Stoics guide your life. Begin today. Master yourself and unlock your true power.